This is my honeybee colony that's in a secret location. It's already produced probably 20 liters or so of honey for me this year. That was before the end of July. Again, I just wanted to say how funny this is. It goes against a lot of conventional wisdom that I used to follow until now. In that first of all, this hive is painted black, which seems crazy. Who would paint their hive black? There is no top ventilation. There's a few holes in here that I use for just taking a peek inside once in a while, just to see what the bees are up to. It's just that bottom entrance wide open. The brood nest is 3 mediums right here on the bottom with a queen excluder on top. I set that up early in the year, and it's just been a self-regulating brood system perfectly all summer long. And I've got 4 more honey supers, and they're full already, and the goldenrod flow hasn't really kicked in yet. So that top box is full. So these 4 boxes are basically full. I probably could pull honey and put extracted comb in there, fresh comb, empty combs that they could fill it up, but I'm just going to let it go and let it ride. I think these bees will produce enough honey for themselves to fill this top super, this medium super, and reduce the brood nest down to about this size. And I think that'll work going into winter, and I shouldn't have to feed them if I leave it alone, and that's my plan. But anyhow, it's just, I just wanted to say, hey, look at this. For the east coast of Newfoundland, where I live anyway, this is incredible. This is probably as good as it gets. Now, it's been a particularly good summer for everybody, but still, I just wanted to show that there's no top ventilation at all. The hive is painted black. There's a piece of hard insulation on top, and that's it. And it's totally working itself out. Having the brood nest down there in those 3 mediums, is just the perfect size. It's more than enough, but it also gives you just a little extra room, extra wiggle room in case there is some spike in brood production that would trigger swarming. This is going to become my method now. I think this is a perfect system for where I keep bees anyway. I'm sure it wouldn't work for other people, but I think beekeeping is learning how to manage your bees to your specific location. And I think you can really go off track and go in the wrong direction for years by following the advice of books and other beekeepers who don't keep bees in your location, in your specific location, your microclimate of your backyard, or the part of the island of Newfoundland that you live in, whatever. I can see myself having taken years to get to this point where I've even done a complete 180 in terms of ventilation, my ideas on ventilation. I still think no upper ventilation going into the winter, which is called a condensing hive or a condensing hive setup. I think that needs a little bit of tweaking for me. I think that needs a bit of work. I think I need some extra ventilation down below, like maybe an opened screen bottom board for a condensing hive setup for me to work in the winter. But in the summer, it looks like I can totally do it. The bees have no issues at all with keeping the colony ventilated, curing honey. It's just they're making it work, no problem. They're just as healthy and robust and as strong as any other colony I've ever had in any other setup that included white boxes or green boxes and top ventilation. It's as good, if not better. And it's a lot easier too, because I don't have to worry about ventilation. That's where I am in my beekeeping. I think it does take years. I'm thinking about this now. This is just thinking out loud, but I think it takes years to find the way to keep bees in your own location, in your own way that works for you. I have another colony and other colonies that are with the same setup in different locations where the flow isn't as strong, but the bees are still working it just as well. They're not having any problem with a lack of upper ventilation. So you have to keep an open mind, I think, to do this beekeeping thing and to do it well. You have to be willing to change your mind. To think, like even 5 years ago, to think that I would abandon this whole ventilation thing, I wouldn't have never predicted that. At least for the summer. The jury's still a bit out on how that works in the winter, at least, especially in damp climates like where I keep my bees. I don't think you can just completely do the same thing, and it needs a bit of tweaking for winter, but it's working really well for summer. There's a hurricane coming, and the bees are not flying today, even though they could. And if you look down here, you can see them. You see that? They're hanging off the bottom bars. They're clustered down below as if to protect the brood from any strong winds that are going to come blowing through there. That's my guess. Either that or they're there's so much honey in this hive that they're running out of space, which I hope isn't the case. I can just begin to smell the goldenrod. Anyway, this beekeeping thing is always something new.